Hello, my name is Ilona, and in this video I want to take a look at Southern Africa. So we're going to look at a few countries there. I have looked at South Africa before, but the other countries I've never looked at. I'm going to look at Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. Of course, a lot has happened in the continent of Africa, and I'm sure in those countries as well. Especially in South Africa, we of course know about apartheid and about a lot of things that happened there. I do believe on the ground, a lot of things have happened. There are so many tunnels and dumps underneath there. It's almost comparable to Europe, I believe, that so much has been going on there. So I'm just going to take a look first at Namibia, see what the energy is of Namibia. Let's see. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the King of Swords as the central card. In the past we have the Two of Swords. Underneath the central card we have the Ten of Swords. And we have the Magician in the near future. I'm just going to get an extra card. The Nine of Wands for the near future. So right now it's a bit of a combination of that there's more emotion going on. I think people are more and more connecting with each other, or there's this energy flowing through the country, but there's also a bit more objectiveness. That's the King of Swords. So people are more like, well, what is really going on? What do we need to know? I do get this sense that there are people waking up, especially with this card, which means that people are pretty much fed up with everything that's going on. So they could be fed up with their government. They could be fed up with what is going on. There's this frustration like, yeah, we had enough. But also making choices to stop this. So there's this interesting combination of the element of cups with swords. Swords is more of the intellectual side, you know, the sign of the element air. And cups is more about feeling, emotions, the element water. So it's very interesting that this almost like a combination, and people are pretty much fed up with everything. I feel this almost anger or something like, yeah, we've been through enough. Enough is enough. That's the feeling I'm getting with Namibia. And especially in the near future, I can see that more and more people are going to step into that power. That's the Magician. It's about manifesting, stepping to your power, which is a beautiful card, and also dealing with old pain. I think there's a lot of healing that needs to be done in that area. It wouldn't surprise me if that's really the case with everything in Africa. You know, all the countries there's so much healing that needs to be done. But I do believe that as soon as people are stepping into the powers, they are healing as well. It's necessary to truly step into your powers. You need to look at things that need to be healed, maybe even in yourself, you know, your shadow work that needs to be done. But it's a very interesting combination of the Queen of Cups with the King of Swords. It tells me there is like this combination of more connection. People are starting to, how to say that, feel more or opening up to their emotions, but at the same time they're being very objective and looking at, well, what's really going on. It's almost like they're starting to understand or everything that's going on, the narrative, and they're pretty much fed up with it. I do believe things can be very radical there. Suddenly some choice has been made and things can end up immediately or change suddenly. That's the feeling I'm getting with Namibia. There's a lot, I don't know, it's very strong energy there. Maybe very proud people, I don't know, it just feels like a very strong energy when I'm tuning into it. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Very proud people. Don't mess around with people in Namibia. That's the feeling I'm getting, and I think that's a very good energy to have. Now I want to take a look at Botswana. Let's see, Botswana. What's the energy there? We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. We have the King of Swords, but in the past. And we have the Star underneath the central card. We have the Emperor in the near future, the future, and Strength. So these are beautiful cards for the future. But at the moment, if I have to compare this energy with what I'm feeling in Namibia, feels more like defeated or more like limited. People don't feel very good. It's almost like they're limited themselves. They'll feel limited by their government in Botswana. It's almost like a more depressive energy or more lower energy. So I think a lot needs to be done. It's almost like people don't really know what to do. It's almost like an empathy or like, well, whatever. It's a bit of a down energy there. So I do believe that people need more energy, and I think they're getting a lot of help. This is a card of protection. So I do believe there's a lot of things going on off-world, helping these people to break through this apathy, through this feeling, well, what's the point? It's not going to change anything. That's what I'm feeling with Botswana. I could be wrong. That's the energy I'm picking up right now. But there is a lot of help, a lot of spiritual help at the moment going on there. And it's important because they really need that spiritual help. They really need to get out of this funk, so to speak. Like, it's almost like they're standing still. It's limited, and they don't have this feeling that they can get out of it. It's almost feeling powerless, like, well, what's the point? That's the feeling I'm getting with Botswana. But in the near future, this usually is a card for the military for me. So I believe that the military somehow will step in and people will start to gain control of their lives again and gain this feeling of strength, which is very, very important. So I do believe, especially compared to Namibia, I'm not sure what that's about, but the energy is very different. Botswana feels very different compared to Namibia. So I do believe military are stepping in, so new strength can open up, and it's necessary. But they're getting a lot of help from off-world, from spiritual realms. That's the feeling I'm getting. A lot of healing needs to be done there. And it's very important that people are stepping out of this feeling that they're powerless. They need to start stepping into their strength. So that's the feeling I'm getting with Botswana. Yeah, it's different than Namibia. So I want to take a look at Zimbabwe. Let's see what Zimbabwe, the energy of Zimbabwe. Let's see. The energy of Zimbabwe. We have the Page of Wands. Central card is the Six of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups in the past. We have the Page of Swords underneath the central card. And we have the Seven of Swords in the future. And the Eight of Wands. So this is quite interesting. This is again a different energy compared to Namibia and compared to Botswana. I have a feeling in Zimbabwe things are starting to grow. So people are getting more interested in other media, in other information. The Page of Swords is usually open to new information, but it's still very first stages. People are starting to open up. People are like listening to other things. And there's also they're opening up for different energies. It's like the Page of Wands is about new energy. This is also to me like a white hat influence. So it's picking up. I believe that people are opening up in Zimbabwe to new possibilities, new energies, but it's still about balancing things out. Balance needs to be brought into that area. I do notice, of course, the Eight of Cups. So they're already moving away from a certain situation in the past. So I do believe that there are more in these first stages of a different energy. So it's again different than Namibia, different than Botswana, but in Zimbabwe it's almost like they've already they stepped out of that lower energy in Botswana, and they're already passed through Namibia, the energy to stand up. So they're now starting to create something different, something new. They're balancing it out. So I believe that in Zimbabwe, the people are already starting to create different things, but it's still in the first stages. It's still very fresh. So in the near future, it will seem that people think, or dark energies there, that they can get away with things. They're not going to get away. I think it's going to go very fast suddenly, and things will come out, and scandals will come out in Zimbabwe. Things will be more and more clear what is going on there. But that has to do because people are starting to open up. People are starting to open up for new energies, opening up for new information. So this is almost like a more bubbly energy, like it's beginning to change there. I think they already changed in the past, working towards this moment, and it's now picking up steam. But it's still in the first stages, so things can still come out. Like I said, in the near future, it will, they will see more and more people that trying to get away with things, or dark energies that trying to get away with things. It's not going to happen. It's going to go faster and faster, and things will be shown there because the energy is changing. The people are changing there. I find that very interesting. Now I'd like to take a look at South Africa. Of course, a lot of things have happened in South Africa, unfortunately. So just what's going on now? What is the energy in South Africa? Let's see. We have the Ace of Cups. That's interesting. We have the Page of Pentacles, the central card. We have 2 in the past, so the 10 of Swords and the Queen of Cups. We have the Ace of Pentacles underneath the central card, and for the future we have the Moon. I'm just going to get an extra card. And the 7 of Swords. That's interesting. That's the same card for the future or near future as Zimbabwe. But we have 2 aces. So there is really a new beginning going on in South Africa. A new beginning, feeling things and opening up and connecting. That's what the Ace of Cups is about. And a new, completely new, true beginning. So I think things can really be seen like, hey, we're starting this or starting that, because this is about something that's really happening and can be seen by people. That's what the Ace of Pentacles is about. Pentacles is, of course, the element earth. So that's very tangible things that are happening. Things are really changing there and picking up, especially with the Page of Pentacles, which also is a chance to change things. It's almost like this country is really changing rapidly. It's even further than Zimbabwe. It's not even in the first stages anymore. Things are really changing there. I think a lot of things needed to be cleaned there, especially under the ground, up, above the ground as well. I think a lot of things have happened there. So there is a completely different new energy going on there, and really a new beginning. Not even in the first stages, it's really starting to pick up. So it almost feels like it's even further than Zimbabwe energy wise. In the future though, it may look like there's still something, people trying to get away, obviously. So there's still some vagueness, some illusion, some fears can come out, but my feeling is that it's really just show people, to wake people up, to show what's really going on, so people understand. They have an opportunity to wake up. Of course, it's up to the person if they want to wake up or not. You cannot force someone to wake up, but you can show them things, and then it's up to the person themselves what they're going to do with it. But I really think in South Africa, things are really, really changing for the good. But for the near future, it may seem like what's really going on. And that's done on purpose to show things, to show these elements. Everything needs to be seen. Everything needs to be shown to the people, because then people can make different choices. So this is what I'm sensing with these countries. I hope to see you in another video. Bye.